What's up, fam? Welcome to part two. Glad to see you here. Hey, if you're just watching this video for the first time, do yourself and me a favor so I don't have to do this in the DMs. Go back and watch part one first because it's the precursor to part two for it to make sense. Everything that we talked about in part one, that's great. I hope that there were plenty of action steps for you guys to go and instantly implement into your content, into your business, into your culture so that you guys can start growing and scaling at a better rate. Now, how do we continue to evolve as our message evolves and as our clients evolve? This is where I think a lot of people are capped inside of their niche because everybody's trying to stand out. But what's really interesting to me is we're all trying to stand out by using other people's things that we've seen on social media and trying to use it as our own. This is common. There's nothing wrong with you if you do this, but think about this. We'll watch Joe Schmo over here post some form of piece of content and it'll blow up for him. And we'll say, oh, well, I should make content like that and it'll blow up for me. But the reason it blew up for him is because that was native to who he is, how he shows up, and it accentuated the parts of him that people liked. Now I go look at this person and they're doing this specific offer in their business and I say, wow, they're making tons of money. I should offer that inside of my business. But the reason they're making so much money in their business with that is because it's a part of who they are. So everybody that you're watching that's crushing it, truly crushing it, it is because their business is nothing but their own DNA. My DNA has to be in every single part of my business or it will not work to the capacity that I can take it to. So I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit today about how to evolve your offer and how to put together things that you've been through in your life and passions that you have and have a very fun way to build your business around things that energize you and things that you think are important for the people that you serve. And this can completely supersede your main offer, but it can enhance it significantly. So the best way that I think I can teach this is by going through my own personal journey and then showing you guys how I integrated that into my business. Obviously, I can't go through your life and tell you how to integrate things from your life, but so I hope that this will help you guys here. So what I call this is your leader archetype. We want to figure out the things that you've been through, the passions that you have, what excites you, and we want to craft how you serve the world based on those things. I have my own beliefs from a spiritual standpoint, and I do strongly believe that our souls choose our early years of life. I do. I think that my soul chose my specific childhood, my specific struggles, because I was meant to overcome that and develop the character necessary to go see the world the way that I want to do it to serve it. There's a lot of nuggets in your childhood that you haven't even tapped into that could completely catapult your offer and get people to connect with your service more. So I'm gonna go through my kind of life journey quickly and talk about the things. So when I first started anything, my first career was actually dance. I was a hip hop instructor. I would go around to studios, I would teach dance, I would teach workshops. I danced in college, I battled, like my hat was down to the side, I break danced, I was crumping, it was a different life. But with that experience, I fell in love with music from a somatic standpoint. Like moving your body to music. I fell so much in love with that. It was such a huge part of my life, and I got away from that for a really long time. And then I actually started DJing. I love music festivals. I love dubstep. I also love future bass. And so I started DJing, and then I started producing music, and I started making my own tracks. And through that, I started seeing music from a very different way. I started seeing the emotional journey that a song can take you on, and I loved it. Music for me has been the only thing that's ever allowed me to fully access and process my emotions. So music is always the thing that I need to really like sit with myself and cry and release. And I really wanted to be able to give that to other people. And I saw how important it was in my entrepreneurship career because there's a lot of dark and dense energies that we hold on to, working with people, getting turned down, being frustrated. And we need ways to remove that so that we can stay in alignment. And so I was really trying to figure out how can I tie my love for music and like that emotional release to help evolve my offer. And so I went and I got breathwork certified. And breathwork has been one of the biggest blessings that I can give my students in my space. And again, it's not part of the offer. People don't know that they have access to breathwork when they come. Well, I mean, now you guys do. Surprise! I saw this was important. And so I brought it to my community and I said, hey guys, this is what we're gonna start doing. I host them once a month. It's not overwhelming. This is why it's important to me. This is why I think it's important for you. It's spiritual hygiene. And I actually just facilitated the breathwork session right before we filmed this video, and it was amazing. So that was something that from my past, you wouldn't look at a love for music and say, how can that fit into business coaching? But when you understand energetic laws and you understand somatic release and you understand, vision and how those things can cloud it, I saw really easily how I could combine those together to serve my people more. The next one, for those of you who don't know, my first real entrepreneurship role was a gym owner. I was a personal trainer at a gym. Shit fell through with all the other coaches. I didn't have a place to train my clients, and so it ended up with me opening a gym on accident. Then I scaled an online fitness coaching company, and that was my career. So I got, for almost a decade, very good at getting people in great shape very easily. Like I told you guys in part one, I have standards for the people in my community. They need to be in shape. They need to be actively working out and actively improving themselves from a physical standpoint. So what I did at no extra cost, or it's not even talked about, is there's a whole fitness section inside of our community. There's workouts, there's nutrition, there's everything. We have a little gym check-in session so I can see when people are going. Now all my coaches and leaders in my space, they have the opportunity to get in great shape without hiring a coach. I just do it for them. The next part of my journey, I grew up without a father. I grew up without a masculine role model in my life. I just grew up with a single mom. And so it was really, really hard for me for a very long part of my life to understand a healthy relationship dynamic, because I didn't understand what it meant to be masculine and I didn't understand what it meant to be feminine. And I didn't really understand either of those energies, the polarities of them, how they're embodied, how the safe ones feel, how the toxic ones feel. I really picked all of that up from Dragon Ball Z, pretty much, and I have a short form video about that if you guys want to go look on my page talking about that journey. What I did was I started reading a lot of books on masculine and feminine energies and relationship dynamics, and I hired my mentor, GS Youngblood, in this, and he changed my life when it came to understanding masculine and feminine roles and how to communicate with them and how to influence them and how to provide safety and what the healthy embodiment of them looks like. Just because I'm a man doesn't mean I don't have femininity. We have both. They're not gender specific, they're just energies, and they both reside in us. But there are different ways to communicate and influence feminine energy, and there's different ways to influence and communicate to masculine energies. Little did I know how incredibly well that mapped into business coaching when it came to learning how to communicate to people that you want to work with, men or women. Understanding how to coach them more effectively by embodying these energies and helping them get into their energies of those. It has been a pinnacle part of my teachings for my students. Little did I know that me sucking in relationships could actually evolve my offer better. The next part of this, I did a lot of when I was younger, and a lot of people did a lot of to me. I was just so fascinated of why people did what they did, why I was doing what I was doing. I didn't really understand how to get out of that. And so I got really obsessed with human behavior. I took a lot of certification courses to get certified. I'm a human behavioral analysis analyst, both. I started learning personality types. I started learning how people are one of those archetypes and how to influence them. What are their fears? What do they need to hear? What are their desires? How are they feeling inside of communications? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand how that can map over to human influence and creating a good culture and leading your people. Kind of same thing goes with my communication skills. Learning how to speak is very, very important when it comes to influencing people via social media or even in your presence of your communities. Going and getting mentored in keynote speaking and learning how to articulate, learning how to cut out unnecessary words, get straight to the point. I used to communicate and say a lot of ums and a lot of likes. See, I have a podcast, Headstrong Podcast. The link's down in the description box below if you guys want to go listen to just some more in-depth teachings from me. But if you go and listen to the very first 10 to 20 episodes, because here's the thing, I never listened to my podcast back. I would just record it and post it, record it and post it. And one day I listened to a podcast episode and I heard, like, and like, you know, like you're going to do like things like this. And I about lost my marbles listening to myself talk like that. So I instantly said, I'm going to fix that. That's for damn sure. I hired speaking coaches and I started getting very good at my verbal communication and my storytelling. And it has done profound things for me in helping influence my people and coach them to greater versions of themselves. I'll stop there because I could keep going, but my desire here with this is for you guys to look at the things that you've been through, the struggles that you've been through, the things that you've had to learn to overcome hardships in your life from a different lens and get creative about how to include them in your current offer so that you have a higher evolutionary standpoint of what you offer. That is going to make your business a DNA replica of who you are, which means there's no way you could ever have competition. I don't need to look at what any other mastermind is doing. I don't need to look at what any other business coach is doing, because there's no way they could ever build what I've built, and there's no way I could ever build what they've built. My business is my DNA. It's a byproduct of who I am. And when you really realize that, what you're gonna recognize is that if I want my space to evolve, I have to evolve first, because it's my DNA. So a lot of times business growth looks a lot like this. I have to grow, then the business has to grow. I have to grow, then the business has to grow. Most people stay down here and they expect the business to do this. I don't want to do the hard work. I don't want to. How does me becoming a better version of myself, how does me healing, how does that have anything to do with my business? Well, let me ask you this. How's your business going right now without the work? It might be time to open the mind a little bit more, entertain a different way of doing things, and potentially take a route of conscious leadership. Because I'm telling you guys right now, the pendulum swings very, very hard, always. And I think we swung really hard to quick scaling, business, numbers, AI, automations, courses, all of these things that just really lacked a human touch. I know the pendulum is going to swing back. I already feel it swinging back. I already see it swinging back with my students showing up this way. You're gonna wanna be on this side when the pendulum swings back this time, because I actually don't think it'll swing back again. I think when we swing back to more of a conscious approach for leadership and business, I think that those who have built their business and their culture this way now are gonna be the ones that stand the test of time. My desire is that that's you. So I hope this video was super helpful. I hope you guys like both parts of it. If you guys feel called to join the community, there is an application down below. There's a 3-step interview process so we can really make sure that we're actually able to help you. I don't want your money, I want your energy more than anything. If you guys want to connect with me a little bit more, I'm super active on Instagram. My DMs are always open. If you guys have made it this far, make sure you guys click that like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. I'll see you guys in the next video.